Alright, Di, good luck in the race, mate. Alright then, mate, take it easy. Yeah, I can still hear him, don't worry.
Balance.
Just let me know what the weather's doing.
Oh yeah, I'll let you know. Damn. Yeah, sunny.
Dry all the way through,
race.
is it?
Yeah.
Alright, cheers, Zane.
Dry and cloudy for both.
Good luck in the race, mate.
Right.
Alright. I'll just mute you now. Tell Egley to mute me when he gets back on. Hello everyone, and we're live from Suzuka, Japan for round 8 of 12 for PSF1. Let's see who's furthest along. On board with MSA Samad. Just coming through Dunlop now. Heading up to Degna 1. And in the Degna 2. Invalidates there. Yeah, this is a 1962 track. It was built in 62 by a Dutch architect. It's the Honda test circuit. Designed for Ciachiro Honda, and it's always been their test track. The strategies round here, because we got a dry race and dry qualifying, strategy wise you're looking at softs at the end of lap 8, the hards to the end on a one stopper, or you can go soft, medium, or you can do the medium to hard, which is the easy one stop, pitting at the end of lap 12, maybe lap 13, and going hards to the end. So we'll stay on board with MSA Samad, as he's on his flying lap now. On the medium tyres. Heading up to the snake, or the S-curves as it's called now. Heading into Dunlop. Wants to feather the throttle here because the back end does go light. Up to Degna 1. Into Degna 2. Goes wide. Heading up to the hairpin now. Out of the hairpin into the 200R, and the 200R is a 200-meter corner down to Spoon, onto the back stretch now. Heading down to the Casio Triangle, 130R. Nicely through there, just taking a little bit of the curb into the Casio Triangle, and rounding out of the last corner he comes across the line on a 127.2. I think there's obviously he can go faster because he's on the mediums here, as we see Carlos posting a time of a 128.5 on the softs. Stanman starting to stamp a little bit of authority. Just under a second quicker than Samad on a 126.6. On board with Tycho now. Sorry, Tekken. We'll see if we can pick up Tycho. See how he's going. Yeah, you wanna try and stay away from the curbs in the air section. Has a tendency to pull you into the gravel. Got a slow car in front of him. Out of the Degners now, heading up to the hairpin. As we see a Renault going off the track. They get out the way. Interesting to know the Degner corners are named after a motorcycle rider called Ernst Degner, who crashed there and escaped with badly burnt on a motorcycle, a 50cc. And Honda decided to name the corners after him. And this car shouldn't hold Tycho up very much as we see him going off. I hope that didn't slow him down any. Goes P2 on a 126.7. Probably the car in front did slow him down a little bit. But all eyes will be on Samad to see if he goes on the softs. He's 2/10 up already. Just coming out of the hairpin now. Short shifting. Into 200R. Exiting Spoon now. We'll see at the second split. Big Davy's retired from the session. Almost 6, it's 5.5 tenths up. He's on pole position time here on the mediums. 126.6 to go pole. 4/100ths of a second faster than Stanman. Big shout out to Stanman. It's his birthday today, 20 years of age, happy birthday. Zane, I would say, is coming in. Taking on an out lap. So too is Carlos. Smart's still pushing. I would say he'd be boxing this lap. Half a tenth down on him his fastest time. I would say Samad will be going on to the softs. Stay on board now with Carlos. Just exiting the hairpin into the 200R, dropping down the hill now, heading round to pick up Spoon. Nice through the first part of Spoon, just mixing the curbs on the apex on the exit. Down the back stretch now, heading down towards 130R. Nicely through 130R. Into the Casio triangle. Nicely through there. Into the DRS activation zone. Pops the rear wing open. Go P8 on a 127.8. Stannerman on his out lap. Coming down to 130R. So too is Tycho. Just coming into spoon now. Tekken's getting out of the way. We'll stay on board with Stanman, the birthday boy, see how he goes. Don't want to take too much curb in Dunlop because it has had the tendency in previous seasons to pull you onto the grass. Up to the hairpin now. Short shifting on the way out. Loses the back end ever so slightly, costs him a tenth or two. Into the 200R, heading down towards spoon. Using all the track. Now he's on the back stretch now, heading down towards 130R. Half a tenth up on his fastest time. Out of the Casio triangle. Round the last corner. DRS opens and goes pole by a tenth of a second. Nice lap from Stannerman. Just see what Tycho's doing. 2 tenths up. Looking pretty good for pole at the moment. But Samad is out on track. Out of the last corner now. And goes pole, or provisionally, on a 126.4. 1.5 tenths quicker than Samad. And half a tenth quicker than Stannerman. We'll go on board with Samad. He's invalidated. GTR Lion, we'll see what GTR Lion's doing as he comes up to the time of split now. I would say he's boxing this lap, 8 seconds down. Carlos going again. Personally, I'd have them 2 runs. I'd have stuck with the 2 runs, saving a brand new set of softs for the race if he's on a 2-stopper. Tycho just coming through now. I would say he'd be boxing this lap. Yeah, into the pits he comes. Samad is 4 tenths up already as he just enters the hairpin. Nicely through spoon. Kept it nice and clean through there. Onto the back stretch now. Through 130R. Down to the Casio triangle. Nicely through there. And boxes. It's unusual. Unless he's going to go for a second run. Carlos, half a tenth up on his fastest time. I don't see him troubling the top 5. But we'll see where he is at the second split, towards the end of the back stretch. At the end of the second time in sector. He's just under a tenth and a half down. In all fairness to him, he's staying out. He's going to complete the lap. Yeah, finished half a second down. That's his qualifying over, as he won't be able to go again. Starman's on an out lap. MSA Samad is coming out on a set of softs, as I thought he would. GTR Lion just slowly warming his tyres, getting them up to temperature and trying to look for a decent space. But he wants to go quick because he's got a car behind him. So we'll see where GTR Lion is now come the first split. I don't see him challenging the front runners. Big lock up going into turn 1 and turn 2. Into the S curves. Nicely through there. Car has a tendency to go light in the S curves. Into Dunlop now. Nice through Dunlop. Heading up to Degner 1 now. Degner 2. Under the bridge. The only figure of 8 track on the calendar. Big lock up into Spoon. Sorry, into the hairpin. Exiting Spoon now. On the back stretch, heading down to 130R. Goes P5, that's his qualifying over. On a 27.0. Let's find out who's furthest along. We've got Stanman here. Heading into Spoon. Yep. See what his split is. 3/10 up on his fastest time. So this will be for provisional pole. Round the last corner we come to go 126.199. We'll go on board with Tycho. Tycho is down a little bit on his fastest time. Lock up there's probably cost him half a tenth as he's coming round the last bend now. Stay to the right, shortest run to the line. Oh, I missed a mad going pole. on a 25.7. Starman's got P2. Tycho is P3. Tekken P4 at the moment. GTR Lion is 5. Die Miles, nice showing from Die Miles, P6. 1.5 tenths up on his fastest time. Going well. Heading into Dunlop now. Got the slow moving Ferrari in front of him of Eggley. Needs to get out of the way. So that's qualifying over. Just one thing to do now, get the timing screens for Not Penny's boat. As we can see there now, Samad on pole. Stanman half a second down on him in second. Tycho 6 tenths back from Samad in third. Tekken fourth. GTR Lion fifth. Daimile sixth. Domain Zane seventh. Carlos eighth. Tactics ninth. Big Davey 10th. Eggley 11th, and rounding out 12th and last Kuna Matata. No time set. I don't know whether he got back into the session. I'm hoping he did, because if his car's on the grid and he's not in it, he won't be classified. We'll have the statutory 2-minute wait for everyone to sort their setups out, but the setups are pretty much there now. It's just to choose the fuel. The top 10 will start on the tyres that they qualified on. It's just to put the fuel in and decide on the pit stops. But the soft runners should be looking at pitting at the end of lap 8 for the one stop onto the hards, and then it'll be a long race to the end. But then I think the likes of Die Miles, maybe Eggley Usher, they'll be going for the 2-stop, which will be a soft medium, pitting the end of lap 7, end of lap 8, and then to the end then on the mediums. But mediums, you can take them 13-14 laps, which is an easy 1-stop if you're outside the top 10. Mediums are hards. Run you through the championship standings at the moment. The top 10 drivers as follows. MSA Samad is on 129 points. Tycho second on 116. Stanaman is on 96 points. Domain Zane is on 68. GTR Lions on 53. Drunk by Fristy is on 53. Eggley Usher's on 38 points. Carton Legend 35 points. Big Davies on 22. And Konski is on 19, rounding up the top 10. So yeah, we're round 8 of 12 this week, with everything to play for. Currently at the moment, it's going to be decided between, I would say, Samad, Tycho and Stanaman, the championship. I don't see Zane really troubling the front three, as he's 30 points down on Stanaman in third. But it'll be interesting to see, because we've seen Samad retire from 2 races this season so far. And anything can happen. Carlos has had it coming together with Die Miles, so they've disqualified from the session and back on the grid. Looks like Samad is away on his own here, slowing down slightly now. new to this game compared to 2019 is the weaving on the installation lap actually puts wear on the tyres. So you try to keep it to a minimum. As we see the strategy, softs to hards one stop, soft medium for the two. We'll go on board with Egliosha now and just look back to see if we can see Samad, to see if he's in his car. No, he seems to be a country mile back behind Eggley. Just see him coming into the shot now. It's supposed to be a bit closer than this because you've got to keep a certain distance to the car in front. As I know, it's it looks like to me he's back in his car, Kuna Matata. Yeah. So we'll get off board with Eggley, get back on with the leader, Samad. Let's hope for a good clean race now, down into turn 1. Because it'll be the odd driver that'll be overzealous into turn 1. Come on, give me a better camera angle than this. Five lights. The lights will go out for me. The revs are building. And we'll go at Suzuka. Samad gets a good start. Stanman slotting in behind. Tekken's up to P3. Tycho drops a place to P4. GTR Lion stays P5. Domain Zane up 2 places. Passing GTR Lion. Die Miles down 1. Tactics up 1, Egliosha up 2 places. The biggest loser is Carlos. As we see, Samad now is on the first lap. He's pulled a gap already of a second over Stanaman. But the first 2 or 3 laps now, they slowly settle into a rhythm. Drop down through the order as we see the predicted tyre strategies popping up on the screen. On board with Tekken. Got Tycho close for comfort on his back end. The main Zing going well in the Alpha Tauri. GTR Lion 6/10 behind him. Die Miles very close there to GTR Lion. Looking to try and make an early move. Losing the back end ever so slightly as Samad sets the first fastest lap. Die Miles slotting in behind again now. He wants to be careful, he's got a car on his outside. There's a small bit of wheel banging from Die Miles as they come in around the first and second turn. No movers at the front. MSA Samad is just eking out this gap now. It's just under 2 seconds to Stanaman in second. Tycho's Tekken's close behind. Die Miles has dropped back a little bit from GTR Lion. On board with Tactics. Eggley still going well. Got a 3-car train behind him. Big Davey, Kuna Matata and Carlos. Carlos the biggest loser here, down to P12. No damage that I can see. Gap now 2 seconds between Stanman and Samad. Tycho going well, got the main Zane for comfort into turn 1 and 2. GTR Lion very, very close to Zane. Di Miles is going well here. In P7, be nice to see him finish the race tonight and get some points on the board. Got Tactics for company here, 8/10ths behind him as Di Miles goes wide. Probably got a warning for that, exceeding track limits. Into the hairpin we go. Egley there with a back end stepping out ever so slightly. Going well in P9. Back on board with your leader. The gap is 2 seconds to Stanaman. We can see Samad is burning through his battery a little bit here. I think he's using as much battery as he can just to try and stay that little bit further up the road from Stanaman. Ideally you want to keep it above 60%, because once it falls below 60% it takes quite a few laps to recharge. On the lap 4 at 27 on board with Tycho now. All over the back of Tekken. Just coming out of Dunlop now. Heading up to Degna 1. Out of Degna 1 into Degna 2. Goes a bit wide, might have got a warning there. Heading up to the hairpin now. Small locker from Tycho. I know this isn't where Tycho wants to be. He would love to be in P2 to stay as close to Samad as possible for the points, to stay in the championship battle. Zane has got GTR Lion all over the back of him now, as we see Tycho just clipping the grass. GTR Lion's now starting to give Zane the hurry up, as a big lock up there from GTR Lion, so you can see that he's pushing. In the DRS now of Zane. I don't think he's close enough, as Zane is starting to go defensive, as we see Big Dave into the pits, picking up a 5-second penalty. He's going on to the hards. They ain't going to get him to the end. I think that's a big ask. He's going to be at least 3/4 of a second slower than the front runners. That's the time difference between the two tyres. About 7/10ths of a second between the softs and the hards. As we can see, he's got the 5-second penalty, so if he does decide to pit again, he'll have to serve that in the pits. The gap now 3 seconds to Stanaman. So Samad is into his little rhythm now. Stanaman with what, 2.5 second gap over Tekken in third, 1/2 second gap over Tycho. We'll get on board with Domain Zane and GTR Lion, as we see Domain Zane making that car as wide as possible. I can't see GTR Lion going for a do-or-die move and stuffing up the inside into Cassia, into the triangle. If there's going to be any move, it'll be down over the start and finish into turn 1, as we see GTR Lion now looking to go around the outside. He's on the outside, Will he make it stick? Zane has got the inside line. No. Slots in behind again. So it's a nice little battle, this. The gap is still, as we can see on the screen, 3 seconds from Samad to Stanman, who's still holding the same gap to Tycho now, is because Tycho's just got past Tekken. So is Tekken starting to struggle on his softs? The fast corners will show if he's starting to struggle. We'll just have a look on board. Fronts look good. Rears look good. Zane's got a nice little train here behind him. Going defensive again, which is allowing Die Miles to get on the back of GTR Lion. And who's dragging Tactics along with him. Egley not too far behind. Now GTR Lion has got the gap right down. Nice little battle this is for P5. Zane's just doing enough. Because once they start battling behind, if Die Miles goes for a move on GTR Lion, once they start battling, Zane will slowly eke out this half a second gap that he's got. Because Die Miles won't need a second invitation to go past GTR Lion. He'll relish that opportunity. But as we can see, Domain Zane now has got a nice train behind him. Goes a little bit wide there into the hairpin. Gets away with it. But it allows GTR Lion to get in his slipstream. And it looks to me as though GTR Lion can put his car anywhere on that track at the moment. Small lock-up from Lion. Go on board with Die Miles now. See if we get a better view. GTR Lion's looking at making the move. Won't do it through 130R. Samad going fastest on a 130.0. As we see Domain Zane now. Still holding on. Oh, that's bad. Clipped the wall. Clipped the pit wall coming out of the last turn. Looking at it, gets away with no damage, so I would say GTR Lion will box this lap. His tyres will be red hot now, so we'll see him come through turn 1, turn 2. Doesn't look like they're overheated that much. So that moves Egley Usher up a space. Die Miles is pitted, I would say. We'll just have a look. Yeah, Die Miles has pitted for another set of softs. So Die will be picking up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. That's the first one, I think, from Die Miles. Oh yeah, bit of a dive bomb there from Die Miles. He's on fresh tyres. I know he wants to get past Big Dave on the hards. Yellow flags. Pit window's now open. See Zane coming in. Hards is the strategy, but we'll see what he's going to do. Hards it is, double stacking. Kuna Matata's in as well. New front wing for Kuna Matata. GTR Lion's in. new front wing. He's gone onto a set of mediums, so he'll be stopping again. On board with the leader now. 6.5 second gap over Stannerman. See how long I would say he would be in this lap, but he's good for looking after his tyres, Samad. Just check Stan's got a small black grain in, as we can see there. See what Samad's going to do now. Is he going to box, or is he going to stay out for one more? Yeah, stays out for one more. We'll just go on board with Stan, see what Stan's going to do. Is Stan going to box and go for the undercut? No, stays out. So does Tycho. Tekken into the pits. We'll see what Tekken goes on now. Egley staying out, so he feels he can go one more. Hard tyres going on Tekken's car. Big Dave holding Di up here. Di needs to clear Big Dave as soon as possible. Yeah, Di miles thought better of it. Tekken having a moment on the hards. Got Di miles all over his gearbox now. Takes a lap or two for the hards to come in. I honestly can't see Big Dave going to the end on these tyres. Tekken seems to be struggling already on his first lap out of the pits. Oh, from a mile back, Di miles. Go back up the front now. Samad stays out. Stannerman's in the pits. Tycho's in the pits. Egley, we'll see what Egley's doing. Egley staying out. Tycho on the mediums. Stannerman. Mediums. So they stretch their softs. I can see Stannerman and Tycho going to the end on these mediums. As we see Egliosha now up to P2, who is yet to stop. Samad, I would say, will definitely be going to mediums. He won't go to hards. It'll be stretching out these soft tyres now as long as he can to get the mediums to the end. But we can see the gap that Samad has got over Egley. Okay, Egley hasn't pitted yet. He's not the fastest of drivers. Still getting used to medium traction. But we'll stay on board with Samad to see if he's boxing this lap. Yep, he's boxing this lap. We'll just see what he's going on. Picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Into the pits he comes. Set of mediums going on. On board with Egliosha now. 49 mile an hour speed limit. See what Egley's going on. Set of mediums for him. Good call for Egley. Good points tonight for him. Looking at it. As we see him move. Tekken going past Big Dave. Found the measure of these hards now. Through the S-curves. Heading up to Dunlop. Stay away from the curb on the inside. Let the car drift out wide, just clipping the curbs. Heading up to Degner now. As we see the gap between Samad and Stanman, 6.5 seconds. 2-second gap then between Stanman as we see yellow flags. Di Miles had a moment. He's going to have to box. He should be able to box and go on the mediums, take the mediums to the end. As we start seeing time penalties. Taika goes fastest on a 1:29.9. Excuse me for a moment. As we see Di Miles picking up a 5-second time penalty, speed in the pit lane. Won't help his cause tonight. New wing. Set of mediums. Di will go to the end now. Kuna Matata, 6 seconds up the road, 8 seconds. 9 seconds. 11 seconds. Di's on his way. Carlos on the mediums. Egley we know is on the mediums. Tactics on the mediums. Zane is on the hards. Big Dave, as we know, is on the hard tyres. Tekken also on the hards. He's not going to trouble Tycho at all. As we see MSA Samad setting the fastest lap so far of the race on a 29.3. Tycho now getting ever closer to Stanaman. The main Zane picking up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Getting closer to Big Dave now in front. 1.5 seconds the gap. We'll keep an eye on that battle. See Big Dave is giving Tekken the hurry up here. 0.5 second is the gap between these two drivers. Both got time penalties though. GTR Lion retires from the session. We'll stay on board with Di Miles. Let's see if we can find out where that's happened. Sector 3. So where did he lose it then? I wonder if he lost it in the 130R. GTR Lions left the session. Just hope everyone got away without speeding under the yellows. Tycho slowly catching up the Stanman now. Samad has just disappeared and he's in a world of his own. 9 seconds up the track. So the battle now tonight will be for who's going to finish second and third. I can't see Samad having any real issues now tonight. It's all depending on whether he can get these tyres to the end. That'll be his only concern. Tekken still got Big Dave for company. 2.5 seconds back is the main Zane. Got Tactics for company. Tactics on the mediums will be a little bit quicker than the main Zane. on the hard tyres. Tactics are slowly chipping away at the main Zane in front. Eggley a further 6 seconds back. Carlos 7 seconds behind Eggley. Kuna Matata 12 behind Carlos. And Di Miles is a country mile behind everyone. But still circulating in P11. Anything can happen. The gap between Di Miles and Kuna Matata, you're looking at 15 seconds, the gap. It's a big ask to try and make up. Come down to time penalties, but I don't see Kuna Matata having that many. Maybe a 3 second, maybe he's got a 5 second for speeding in pit lane, but I don't see that. Di Miles picking up a 3 second time penalty again. Lap 17 of 27. 11 to go, including this one. See how the birthday boy is getting on, Stanaman. 20 years of age today. Still just doing enough to keep it in front of Tycho. 1.4 the gap. They'll be looking to manage their tyres now come the last 5 laps of the race. Tyre management will play a big part. The main Zane just hovering around 2.4, 2.5, 2.5 seconds behind Big Dave. His tyre is obviously fresher than Big Dave's. Needs to save a little bit of his battery. The Zane, 33%. Want to keep it hovering like Big Dave is hovering around 60%. Tekken as well. I can't see Big Dave making a move, not close enough down into turn 1. It's hard to find a battle. The closest battle would be Tekken and Big Dave on track. The gap now falling slowly to Tycho and Stan Man. 1.3 seconds is the gap, 1.2. It's just hovering there or thereabouts. Stan Man seems to be doing enough at the moment just to keep Tycho behind. But currently at the moment, Samad still has the fastest lap, so he'll pick up a bonus point tonight. Should he finish in first place, barring any mishaps. 10.2 seconds is the gap to Stanaman behind. Yellow flags. Sector 2, I wonder if that's for Di Miles. Egley's going along alright. No, it's for Carlos. We'll just see if Carlos has got any damage. No, he's at a moment. Coming at a spoon. Luckily to get away with it. Oh, as he goes off again, he's got grass on his tyres and he's trying to push. Need to take it easy on them tyres, Carlos, until they clean up and scrub in. Take you a couple of corners to scrub them back in, get them nice and clean again. Just keep an eye on him, see what he's like through turn 1, turn 2. Nice onboard camera shot here in the Dunlop. Going up the hill now. Heading towards Degner 1, Degner 2. Looks like he's got it back on par again. 9 miles, 9 seconds. Yeah, about 9 seconds down on him. But just keep chipping away, Di. You don't know, he might come due. Maybe his tyres are starting to wear. Egley up 4 places tonight. From P11, he's got Tactics all over the back of him now. As we see Tactics going wide here. Out of 2. Tactics will be looking at clearing Egley. Tekken picking up a 3-second time penalty. As we see Tactics picking up his first second. Yellow flags in sector 1. Who is that for? Tactics now. Trying to get in the slipstream of Egley. 7/10 the gap. Down the Casio triangle. Under the second. DRS. Well, is he going to go for a move? He's thinking about it. No. Looks like he's struggling a little bit on his mediums Tactics. Car seems to be moving about a little bit under him. Just have a look on board. As we can see, a little bit of graining as he touches the grass here. You don't want to do that too many times now. Cost him a little bit of time. Almost 9/10. So it gives Egley a little bit of breathing room. Get back up on the front here, see how they're going at the front. Samad going fastest again on a 1:28.7. Lap 22 of 27. 6 to go including this one. Stanman's just doing enough. The gap is 2 seconds to Tycho behind him. Good friends, Tycho and Stanman. Both Dutch racers. We've seen in previous races where Tycho has let Stanman through on the last lap. I'm wondering, is Stanaman going to repay the favour tonight and let Tycho through to keep his championship hopes alive? With the gap being 13 points to Samad. He'd like to finish P2. Big Dave and Tekken still holding the gap around about 1.5 seconds. The main Zane still going well in P6. Eggley 5 seconds behind the main Zane. P7. Kuna Matata P8. Oh, don't want to do that too many times. 3-second time penalty. Obviously corner cut in. Miles picking up another 3-second time penalty. That won't help his quest tonight for points. Carlos starting to push Kuna Matata here. But Tactics for company. Tactics is on fresh softs. Looking to get the move done before the 130R. Nicely through there. As we see him going off down the runoff. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You'll get a penalty for doing that. Now his tyres are dirty. He should have stayed on the grey stuff, not the green. Allows Miles to catch up slowly. The gap still holding 2.1 seconds between Stanaman and Tycho. Is still holding the same. I don't see Tekken getting any closer, bar any mishaps from Big Dave. Eggley going well here in P7. Having a good drive this season. See what lap time Tactics is going to do on these softs. Get a small bit of slipstream from the car in front of him. 1:29.7 is fastest lap of the evening. Ain't going to challenge for the fastest lap, which is still owned by Samad. The gap almost 13 seconds now to Stanman behind. Now Tycho and Stanaman, as well as Samad, will be starting to look after the tyres a little bit now. Lap 25 of 27, 3 laps to go including this one. As we see Samad, he's 13.1 ahead of Stanaman. He's led from the start. Hasn't had any challenge tonight. Just been in a world of his own. Got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits, but it'll be added to his race time. Stanaman and Tycho, as we see, are clean at the moment, no time penalties. And so too is Eggley, Usher and Carlos. Eggley needs to try and push a little bit more if he's hoping to jump past Domain Zane, because we know Domain Zane's got at least one 3-second time penalty, and the gap between Egley and Domain Zane is 6 seconds, so Egley's got a little bit to do if he wants to try and get P6 tonight. I don't... Ooh, you want to stay away from the green stuff, Carlos. Probably picked up a warning there. Exceeding track limits. Into the hairpin we go and out. Into the 200R. See the gap now is 3 seconds between Stanman and Tycho. So Stanman is pushing as we see a lock-up from Tycho. Both using their battery. Big lock-up from Stanman. Just drop down through the order now. Big Dave still holding on to P4. Tech and P5 2 seconds down. 10 seconds back Domain Zane. Egley a further 6 seconds back from Domain Zane. Kuna Matata 18 seconds back from Egley. 3 seconds back is Tactics. 3 seconds further back is Carlos. And 4 seconds back from Carlos is Die Miles. On board now with Samad, last lap of the race. Not a lot can be said about Samad. Led from start, put it on pole. Done the one stop, stretched out the soft tyres in his first stint. Still pushing. He'll pick up a bonus point. Excuse me, giving himself 26 points on top of his 129 he's got. Russia next week. Be an exciting race to watch. Still waiting on Not Penny's boat to see if he's going to get in a car and do a race this season. Hopefully Dylan will be back next week. Into the Casio triangle for the final time. Out of the last bend. As Samad comes in the pits. The service 5-second time penalty and wins the race. Congratulations to MSA Samad on winning tonight. Well deserved from start to finish. Stanman round the last bend. Comes home P2. Tycho P3. We'll see now when it comes down to penalty who's going to jump who. Tactics just picks up a 3-second time penalty. Big Dave round the last corner. Crosses the line, see if Tekken jumps him. No. Does Domain Zane jump either one of these two in front? Around the last corner. Domain Zane stays P6. Does Egley jump Domain Zane? No, stays P7. On board with Kuna Matata now. Casio triangle for the final time. Out of the last corner. Crosses the line. P8. Carlos. Round the last corner. P9. Die Miles. Finishes the race P10. We'll see now if Tactics is going to jump him. I don't know whether Tactics and Die Miles are coming together. Tactics 11th. So I don't know whether Tactics lost it. We'll just pick up the timing screens now. Di Miles, looking at it early on, has picked up his first point of the season. First point for the last couple of seasons, I think. So he's finally got his name on the score sheets. Just get the timing screens now. And there we can see everyone's time penalties. But there was the finishing positions. Samad, 8 seconds the gap over Staneman. Staneman weren't going to really trouble Samad tonight. Tycho finishing P3. Big Dave P4. Tekken P5. Domain Zane 6. Egley 7th. Kuna Matata 8th. Carlos 9th, picking up 2 points. Di Miles 10th, picking up 1 point. Di Miles 17 seconds of time penalties. Tactics didn't need that last penalty.
What a boring race.
2 seconds, I'll be with you. As we see Tactics and GTR Lion DNF'd. And that's it. We'll see you all next week in Russia. Congratulations on P2 tonight, Staneman.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a long drawn out race. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Happy birthday, mate. Good race tonight, Di. Good race tonight, picking up a point. Yeah, well, you picked up a point. You're on the score sheets now. Now your championship starts with 4 races to go. All right, Di, take it easy, mate. Stay safe, stay well.
See you, man.
I did think that Stan might have let Tycho through on the last lap, but it wasn't to be, to repay the favour.
No. I deserved this one. I was quicker this time, so fuck him.
This track is
you're live on stream.
Keep
the profanity down. You're live on stream.
Why?
Yeah. So how was it?
Such a horrible track. Excuse me.
What don't you like about it, Tycho?
It's just horrible.
There's no DRS down the main big straight, which is annoying.
Yeah, so
you can't really close up or anything.
No. Yeah, it's only the start from the straight that's got it.
I've always had no pace around Japan.
All right. What wings were you running out of curiosity, Tycho?
Top 5 finish. Sorry, what was that?
What wings were you running out of curiosity?
Ooh, I think it was 4.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing the same.
How did you find the setup tonight, Zane?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Stable.
Good.
Most parts. It was actually pretty decent in the straight as well.
Good.
I can't complain.
No, good points again tonight.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've got P4, maybe. It depends on what Fristy does. Next few races.
Where are you? Zane 68. Well, currently at the moment you are P4.
Fristy, but, yeah, I should have P4.
Well, you're P4 now.
Yeah. The next track's pretty good tracks of mine, so.
Yeah, Russia's not a bad track.
Yeah.
It's better than Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but you're slow.
Exactly.
Scathing attack. Egley, I'll just end the stream. Join us next week in Russia.